I'm gonna show you how to depot your Norvina Pro and Mini palettes into single eyeshadows. So you're gonna need a heat source, and you're not gonna, like, I don't think a flat iron or a blow dryer is gonna do it for you. You're gonna need some kind of lighter. Personally, I like the blowtorch style of lighter. If you have one, they're awesome. If you don't, you can use a regular lighter. Next thing you're gonna need is something to push out the pan. You can use a pair of tweezers. This is a really dangerous process, by the way. If you want to label your stuff, you're gonna need labels. Just a palette to put it in, some kind of freestanding magnetic palette. Tons of brands make them. You can check Amazon. Pigments, and not the same as regular eyeshadows that are kind of soft. So keeping that in mind, if you do too much with these, they are going to crack, and they're going to crack from the back because that's where you're coming from. And repressing a pressed pigment is honestly really hard to get it back to its regular texture. I finally did end up getting a technique that mostly worked, and if they did end up cracking, it was kind of my fault for going at a speed I shouldn't have. But yeah, so let me show you guys how it's done. Be really careful, be really slow, and you could probably get all of them out with no casualties. Use your least favorite palette first. That's definitely important. If you take a look at the underside of your palette in here, you can kind of see where the two colors, the black and the pink packaging, meet. You want to stick your knife in there and start lifting it and separating it from the rest of the packaging. This is still part of the process where you need to be gentle. If you go too rough with it and you really crack it, you can crack a lot of the shadows. So you just want to be really slow with it. And you can see it's kind of separating, and now that it's lifted from this corner, you can get underneath there and just start kind of gently going around it as if you were trying to like release a cake from a pan. Really gently. See how some of the pigment from the pink just popped off because of the cracking? You need to be really careful and really gentle. The shimmers had no problem, by the way. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. The shimmers, none of mine like cracked or anything unless I dropped them. Boom. You have this. And then you're just gonna pop this off like that. And now you have this. This is where the danger starts. You're gonna take your blowtorch lighter or your regular lighter, and I like to heat up the border of the pan mostly, and then a little bit in the center. I actually found that if you heat up something too long in the center, you'll actually see a little ring on the pan. The pans are hot as hell when they come out, also, forgot to mention. Okay, so I'm just gonna classic shaky arm and just go around the border. Oh, also toxic fumes, I forgot to mention that. This lighter is pretty much out. And then I'm going to quickly come in with my knife before the plastic. And then I'm going to hold it there for a second like this. And you could even blow on it to encourage the plastic to cool faster. I'm sorry, my hands are disgusting. Please don't bully me. And then she just pops right out. And she's hot. So I'm going to set her right here. And then what I usually do is I'll do a whole row and I'll lay them down in the row. Sorry. I'll lay them down in that row so I'll know who to label, put it in my palette, and then move on. In some ways, these are actually a lot easier. Same process. Fudge with it. Let's see, it lifts up, and then you do the little cake pan removal. And then she's out. And these come out so easily. Okay, I said these were easy, and I've been trying to do it for a second, and they're not. Now, I've done the other two already. I'm gonna see if it's just that red pan that's giving me a problem. Now that you have like the pan sticking out and cooled, you can kind of just shimmy a knife in there really simply, and it comes out like that. My torch lighter died. So what happens when you use the regular lighter is it's gonna develop a lot of black soot before it actually heats up. So you're gonna have to hold it there for maybe like 10 seconds or so. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that and go around the edges. It gets black like instantly on the back, but you can wipe it off with paper towel. And then just go in with the knife, hold it firm, and push out the pan like that. And then hold it for a second while it dries. I want to get this up fast. I'm not gonna like show the whole process or anything, but they are already magnetized. You just can label them if you would like to label them, and then you're good to go.